My name is NeverChris, and this is my first look review for Samurai Warriors Katana for the Nintendo Wii. I'm not going to pretend to care much about these Koei published baller games. I'm aware that there's about 1,000 of them. There's one with Gundam characters, one with Shin Megumi Tensei characters, and probably some more. They never seem to do very well, and I'm thoroughly uninterested in all of them. I'll admit right now that I'm probably not the ideal person to review this game. You see, I'm convinced that the people who do enjoy these games get a bit more out of them than just the gameplay. They're all rooted deeply in historical tales, and it takes a certain type of person that can get off to these stories. While that is not necessarily a bad thing, people who aren't necessarily into this kind of stuff have little else to enjoy. Samurai Warriors Katana for the Nintendo Wii looks to break things up a little. Well, slightly. Once again, we're back in the Sengoku period of Japan and shit is going down. The prologue barely did much to catch me up to speed with what was actually happening, and I wasn't nearly motivated enough to try to piecemeal it all together with all the horribly acted dialogue and poorly rendered cutscenes. No, I just dived right in. This game advertises itself as a first-person sword swinger, and so that's how I'm going to be treating it. So I swung my sword, and then I swung it some more. And then a little more. And more, and more, and more, and more, and more, and more. Pressing A gives you your weak attack, while you can use a stronger attack by actually swinging the Wiimote. Sounds nice, but you really need to swing that fucker hard enough to get the game to recognize it, and by the time you finish only a couple levels, your hand is surely gonna hurt like hell. Mine sure did. Despite the variety of directions you can swing your sword, as well as the order and combos that you can do, none of it really matters. It's all the same. You swing your sword and then you kill. Some enemies have smaller hitboxes or move faster, but that's about it. It's the same thing over and over, and I can't picture anyone willingly playing this game for longer than an hour. About 30 minutes in, you get your bow. This acts as like a glimmer of hope at breaking up the monotony you've endured so far. Yeah, that didn't really work out. Shooting enemies with that weak-ass bow felt almost like swinging your sword, except the range is slightly longer. It changes absolutely nothing. The game's control is subpar and the graphics are nothing to write home about either. I've gotten used to having to look at the Wii's graphics in a different light, but still, it's pretty bad. Character animations are pretty ugly as well. That's just what this game is, ugly. Killing many enemies all at once has its small appeal, but that's not even nearly enough to ever motivate me towards playing this game again. I suppose this game does have its historical appeal, but honestly, come on. Omega 5 has been rehashing the same shit over and over for a decade now, and that's not nearly enough to save their games anymore. Samurai Warriors Katana takes an interesting idea, botches it completely, and falls back on a franchise that's more stale than the underwear of its characters. I give this game 4 samurai sword slashes out of 10.